Hey everybody, it's Paul with Washington Pro Carpet Cleaning. Hope everyone's doing well today. I did speed this up a little bit. It was probably a good hour-long video. But you can see there's a few areas of wear and tear, and there's lots of little spots and spills, and who knows what they are, but we're going to take a look at it all. I got to do this long hallway. It's got lots of little spots, and wear and tear. And I'm going to pre-vacuum all this, although they said they vacuumed it. And you'll see I painted over the power speed and the Eureka. It is incognito. There you go. It's an empty canister. And I will say, I'll just vacuum this, and there's absolutely very, very minimal stuff that comes out. And the client pre-vacuumed with a heavy-duty old-fashioned Royal. So that thing must have did a really good job. You'll see I got a few red stains there. And today we'll be trying out Red Vanish from Encapstore. And I got a small pint of that just to try it out and see how it works. Okay, so after the vacuuming, my second step is I've mixed up some spotter. I'm going to pre-spot some of these, and I'm going to use the drill with the soft brush. Kind of agitate these away so that I can come in and do my thing. And I also ordered a gallon of Angry Lemon to try and see how that stuff works. So I put a tiny bit, maybe a half an ounce to an ounce, maybe half an ounce in this bottle. And it's a higher pH, and I thought I'd just use it as a spotter on this job, not in the tank. You can see there's a bleach mark there. Won't be able to do anything about that, but I'm just going to kind of get a mist over some of these, and then I'll use the drill. And sometimes, I'm not sure with the Angry Lemon, it's an end cap, so it should be fine. But sometimes if you pre-spot and you do like that right there and you just soak it down, you can actually leave a residue behind, so you got to be careful. You want to make sure you neutralize that so you don't have reappearing spots. But like I said, this is Angry Lemon. It is a high pH. It's made really to end cap nasty restaurants or your real dirty carpets. So I wanted to have that on the truck as well with my Green Dragon. So you can watch me go through this. A little pre-spotting never hurts. Okay, making light work of that. Here's the red vanish, and it is a crystallizing 1-part dye stain remover. And it also cleans other stuff. It looks like coffee, wine, blood, urine, vomit, you name it. But I'm just going to spray it down on these spots. There's one there. I already sprayed it, actually. My camera was off when I was showing. I sprayed it and agitated it with the drill. So we'll see if that lightens up. I'll let you know. I got my 175. I'm going to do the shower feed. Oh, there's the headlamp. I took someone's advice that commented about just wrapping it around the machine. It actually worked pretty good. I will say, it looks a little dorky, but hey, it did the job. And then I pulled this back out. I used to use this, but man, it's worthless. It bounces around on my chest, and I'll start out with it, and then I'll go get my tripod. So you'll see. Yeah, there's the tripod, so I didn't even start out with it. And I will say, from now on, this job did come out nice, but from now on, I'm going to use either the brush or a white fiber pad, probably the white fiber pads, as an applicator, to apply the solution. Oh, there, I didn't even have it on. It's funny. That's the second time I've done that, the little on-off valve. So I was wondering why it was binding up. But anyway, I'm not going to do this ever again where I just use the Iron Man and I use the shower feed. Number one, it's really hard to gauge how much solution you're putting down and when you need it and when you don't. You can see the tank. There's about 1.5 gallons in there, maybe 2 gallons. Probably no, less than that. I started with 2.5 gallon jug and I poured about half of it in there, so 1.5 gallons, I'll say. And I really don't use that much. Like I said, it's a little more difficult to gauge with the Ironman pad on there. When I use the white pad, which I prefer using over the brush, only because my brush tends to tilt to one side with the weight of the machine and the direction of the bristles. And that tilting causes a little bit of splashing, and it also creates an uneven distribution of the solution, which is strange. And the flat pad does a much better job of distributing or applying the solution evenly. And you can almost see where the solution is being put down evenly. So, and it does, like I said, there's no hot spots or no real wet spots on the pad itself, versus the Ironman seem to, where the shower feed, the hose drops right down there on the lower left-hand side. And I know the pad's spinning, but for some reason, I don't know, I had a couple of areas on the pad that seemed wetter, around the circumference. So, like I said, no big deal. That's just going to be my way of doing things. I'm going to use the pads. I do have 2 boxes of the 3M white pads that I had purchased a long time ago. They were in my workshop, and I started using them a few months ago. So now I'm really going to use them. And today I had a few jobs. I used the white pad, scrubbing pad, on 2 other jobs, which I had used on 2 jobs prior. And they were pretty dirty, did a fantastic job. So I'm figuring I'll get about 4 jobs, average-sized jobs, with 1 pad. And I think the cost of the pads are only about $2.50 a piece. So very justifiable. And you do want to rinse them out. Otherwise, if you don't hose them off, you flip it over, all the soil that came up on the one side, you're shower feeding that, and it's pushing that down. You're basically shower feeding dirty water, so you don't want to do that. And I did find that out today with the Ironman pads. I had a real dirty side. You'll see here in just a minute when I do the hallway. I flipped it over and then I started shower feeding the hallway, and I noticed the solution that was coming out was black liquid. So it's probably not a good idea to shower feed both sides of the pad, maybe only one side. That way you're gonna absorb the majority of the dirt. And the other thing that I'm gonna do, like I said, look at how filthy this is. Look at that. Oh my gosh. But anyway, I definitely am going to use the white scrubbing pads as an applicator. And that is simply because by shower feeding through the Iron Man is cotton. So the first couple areas of your job, you pick up a lot of soil, and then you continue to shower feed, you are actually dropping the solution through the dirt, which is not good in my opinion. So chime in if you agree with me there, or if you have experience with it. What do you think? Does that happen? Do you flip pads? And if you do you go back with a dry pad? That's probably the key. So my whole concept is going to be use the white scrub pad as an applicator and a pre-agitation, and then just come back and mop it all up with a dry cotton pad, or as many as I need, without shower feeding into that pad, just simply absorbing, not distributing. It actually makes more sense, but you'll see as I started right about there, I started to realize that the solution that was going down onto the floor was black. And that's because, see that side, I'm stopping there. And that is simply because the solution was penetrating all the way through that dirty side. Not really a good thing. Anyway, off that subject, here I'm using a new Iron Man pad. I am shower feeding through this one, but I'm only going to do one side from now on. You can see it's coming out beautiful. So there you go. I mean, I'm not doing the upstairs in this house. They're just prepping this house for sale. So I'm just doing the living room. There's a hallway, then there's a dining room, family room right by the front door. You'll see that. I think you saw it on the walkthrough. And this carpet is, I mean, there's a lot of wear and tear, and it is soiled, but it's coming out fantastic, as you can see. Check out that headlight. That thing is working like you're coming down a dark highway. You can see about 1.5 feet in front of the equipment, which is fine. So I may continue to use that. I do need to get some, it takes 3 AAA batteries. So I probably will put some new batteries in it and keep on testing that out. Let's see what I think. And as far as these wheels go, a lot of guys ask me about this machine. I tell them you don't want it. It's an eBay machine. It was only $600. Came with the pad driver and 2 brushes and the tank, everything. But I had to modify the little dinky wheels. And I put 2 brackets on and then another bracket. And then the way I did it was really generic. I would not recommend it. That's why I think I did a video explaining how I did it, but it was retarded. And even now, the brackets that I screwed into the side of the back of the machine, this is funny. The machine hit the tripod. Sorry about that. So I won't edit it out. But anyway, the brackets are moving now. And so I took it to a welding shop, and man, they wanted, I think it was $112 per side to do a small weld on the brackets. And I was like, $224. I think I could probably buy a small DC welder and teach myself on YouTube how to weld. And that's exactly what I did. I found one on Amazon for $99. It's a little, I think they call it a ARC 200D. And it's DC currents. And I picked up the 7018 welding rods from Home Depot. And I watched YouTube. I read the directions. There's a couple of welders on YouTube that show beginners what to do. And so there you go, and it looks very simple. So this weekend I'm going to weld those brackets myself, and I'll show you how it turns out. We'll take a look at the weld bead and see how I do. But all in all, instead of spending $224 for someone to weld it for me, I ended up spending roughly $115 for everything. And after I'm done, I now own a DC welder, and it runs off. You can do 110 or you can do the 220 if you're going to do real high burns. So interesting. I may do a video on me welding. If you guys are interested in that, chime in the comments. Let me know. I plan on hopefully taking this weekend off because it's Mother's Day on Sunday. So if you think you'd like to see me do the weld on it, and it'll also show you how I attach to these wheels. Look at that pad. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! I gotta cut that loose string. And overall, pretty satisfied. It'll obviously look a lot better when I rake it. All right. I'm going to clean this other room up, and I'll be out the door here shortly. This did take me 2 hours in here. And again, it was only, you can see the family room, the hallway. This is the dining room and the living room attached. So 2 hours is a lot for something this size. And, you know, it's funny because in my steam cleaning days, I could have ran the hose through here to the furthest point and pre-sprayed it and then extracted right out the door, probably in about 35 minutes. So the VLM is not a shortcut for steam cleaning. It takes a substantial amount of more time and patience. And obviously spotting, and the solution here is doing the work. I'm using Green Dragon again. And on that note, as far as solutions go, remember that Pina Colada super polymer I was testing for the Encapstore, which I absolutely loved. It did an incredible job of cleaning. It turns out they have revamped, and I hope I'm saying this correctly. If not, I'm sure Damon will be able to let you know if you call him, but I'm pretty sure that this is what they've done. Rather than introduce a whole new super polymer end cap, they took Awesome End Cap, which is his most popular end cap solution, and they modified that. And the two modifications on it are, I believe it's that super polymer, so it's more of the crystallization, as well as some plant-based properties instead of whatever was in there before. So, and he's tested it, and he's got some other people that were testing it. So, and I ordered a gallon of that. I want to try it out, and it should work the same as that Pina Colada, I think, but it's the Awesome End Cap. So if you look up on the website and you see Awesome End Cap, it should show in the description now that it has some plant-based properties and then a more concentrated polymer. So check that out. I can't wait to try it out. That should be fun. And like I said, I got a gallon of that coming. And I also tried out today, there was some dog pee odors in here. And the ClO2, I have 2 gallons of ClO2 on order, the odor death. And there was a mix-up. I didn't get the order in time for this job. And I ran out of my ClO2, but I was trying something called War on P, WAR, like battling war on P, PE. And I got a little bottle of that. It has a vanilla scent. It's actually a bioenzyme, which means it's a enzyme, excuse me, a biodegradable enzyme. So some of you guys that are carpet cleaners are familiar with spray and walk away. Excuse me. That's how this is. It's a RTU ready to use in the bottle. Or I'm sorry, is it an RTU? Can't remember. If it is an RTU, I diluted it. I just added 1 ounce to my 2.5 gallon jug there, along with the Green Dragon, 6 ounces of Green Dragon. So the scent is a vanilla scent. Oh my gosh, it is to die for. The scent is supposed to, it's not just masking. The enzyme is actually destroying the urine at the source. And the vanilla scent is not just a temporary quick perfume, 10, 15 minutes and then it dissipates. It's supposed to stay behind. And I surely can testify to that, because all the jobs that I've done, at 2 out of 4 today, including this one, I had to use the War on P. And the dirty pads, obviously they're in my van while I'm driving around to the next jobs. My whole van smells like that vanilla. Smells incredible. So I think it's an introductory trial bottle. I got a quart. So I'm going to be contacting Encapstore about the War on P and find out if it's something that they're going to carry. And hopefully it is. I absolutely love it. So when that comes along, I'll let you know what's going on with that. I'm still going to continue with odor death because of its disinfecting and sanitizing properties, and I guess the way ClO2 works, it robs the urine's amino chain from its protein and makes it become something else. And obviously it works even on cat pee. And so far the War on P, I think, is going to be pretty competitive and a good product. And it'll be obviously at a lower price point. Look at those pads. And here you can see this one's, it's a beige with the darker undertones, kind of the coffee look, swirl. So I'll rake that out. And a good tip when you go down the hallway or along the edges, if you're raking, obviously nobody's been walking along the edges. So what you want to do is where, when you pull back on the rake, it shows the darker tone here. So a trick is to show the darker tones against the wall and the lighter tones in the center. And then when somebody comes in and looks at the job, if the center is lighter than the outer edges, it just, you can just see it appears really, really clean. And it is clean, but you don't want to push the fibers where they're light against the wall and then draw back and have that dark beige color in the middle of the hallway. Because now you look at it and you go, oh gosh, it's clean on the outside like it always has been, but where we walk it's dirty. And it's not dirty, it's just an optical illusion from the shading, the way you're pushing the pile. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I'm at a quick lunch break. I'm going to try and post this. I don't know if I'll have enough juice on the phone, but otherwise I'll try and post it later. And I just got one more to get to, and that'll be it for the day. This one was awesome. It's raining outside. What do you want? It's the state of Washington. All right, there's my results for that end in the hallway. A little bit of weird shadows coming in through the windows, but hey, it looks beautiful. Appreciate y'all watching another episode, and look for me in the next one.